Hello, I have a question for you. What do these two riffs have in common? And number two. So, did you guess it? Well, what they have in common is a rolling triplet right hand technique that I learnt from the first piece, which was an excerpt from Asturias. Great piece of music by Isaac Albeniz. This is the Segovia version, really great. I would recommend checking that out. And this right hand rolling triplet technique, I just fell in love with immediately. And it's simple. You're hitting the first note of the triplet with the thumb, then middle finger, first finger. So if I put that up a little bit of volume, you get something like. And it's nice, it rolls, it really feels circular, and it's really feeling like it's rolling. It can just go continuously, endlessly. And I adore that. And as soon as I learnt it with Asturias, I immediately wanted to just use it everywhere. Okay, so I would start doing things like maybe with some open chords, maybe. Maybe something like that, which is kind of almost doing the same. Actually, in this case, the only difference I'm doing is as I'm moving the bass note up through the strings, whereas in the Asturias, I kind of do the same. But in this one, I'm just simply going up the bass notes, up the notes of the chord, so, and then down again. And I'm just doing the same as Asturias, but playing something new. But I didn't want to stop there, because I was really just loving this triplet thing. So I started to think about other stuff, and that's what brought me to think about this lesson, because at this point, after a few years of messing around with this, I've got a bunch of different ideas that I've taken from that one Asturias technique I learned, and I decided to throw a few of them in that country piece that I wrote. It was a little composition I wrote the other day, just to for the sake of this lesson, actually. And I'll go through some of the techniques that I put in there. Okay. First one, you might have noticed I played the C7 up here, and I did this. Okay, it's again the rolling triplet from Asturias. The way I've changed it slightly is that in Asturias, I'm keeping the middle and index finger on the B string, so it would be like this. And in this one, I've decided to use also the G string, so I'm going. My middle finger is on the B string, my index on the G string, and then on the thumb, I'm kind of alternating between the A string and the D string. And you end up with this. Nice little roll on the C7 chord. So that's the first one. And then, in my journey of trying to figure out what to do with this rolling triplet, because essentially for me now, it's just a way of playing a triplet. At a certain point, I decided, I wonder if I can do it on one string, if I can play 3 notes per string with this technique. So rather than just having these two on one string, let's also have the thumb on that one string as well. And that second, you might have noticed this riff in that second piece, which is. very country, and that's using 3 note per string, using this rolling triplet technique. So in this case, I'm playing sixths. So this is the first one with the G string 11th fret, E string 10th fret, and then down to this one, G string 9th fret, E string 8th fret, then G string 7th fret, E string 7th fret, G string 5th fret, E string 5th fret, and then down to the G chord where you play the G string 4th fret, E string 3rd fret. Okay, these are sixths, and I'm just descending down to the G chord. To make it that kind of cool country sound, and with the rolling triplets, I've just added this little chromatic run to get to this sixth. So next one. Okay, so then when you play it a bit faster, it's like, sounds very cool and very country. So that's the second thing. 3 notes per string now. Started out with something kind of cool and finger picky, and now I'm on to 3 notes per string, but it's the same thing. I'm just rolling that triplet with my fingers. One slight difference is that when I play Asturias, I start the roll with the thumb, so it's started with the thumb. But with these 3 note per string ones, I'm finding it a bit easier and nicer to start with the middle finger. So I go middle, index, thumb. It's a bit counterintuitive, it feels at first, because this one is coming down, so it's going middle, index, thumb, and this one's going, in this riff is going first, second, third. So I'm going up here and down here, so it's feels a bit strange, but then, you know, you get into the flow of it, and it feels kind of normal after a while. Like that. And then continuing on that piece that I wrote, I also did this riff. It was a bit faster, but that's also 3 note per string. It's just running through the G scale here in this position, and then I come up to the E note, which is when I change to the C7 chord, and that E note is the 3rd, so that's why it sounds so cool. Okay, again, 3 notes per string. And the cool thing about it for me was that as I started doing 3 notes per string with this, I realised that it sounds quite staccato. I think it's just because of, you know, there's just always that kind of thumb kind of mute in it. And I think that helps to add to the staccato. So for country music, I don't know, for me it sounds really cool. I get that kind of... get that kind of like chicken picking sound or something, you know. So yeah, that's the second example of 3 notes per string that I did in that piece, and then the final one that uses this rolling triplet was this riff, which is kind of like a variation of this one, because I'm still using these sixths. It's just in this case I'm doing like the full triad. So this is like a D. So I'm doing 11th fret, 12th fret B string, and 12th fret E string. 10th fret B string, 10th fret E string, and then I'm down here 9 on the G string, 8 and 8 on the B and E, and then I do 7 on the G string, 6 on the B string, and 7 again on the E string. Then that shape I just take down chromatically, and then end on the same shape I started at, but down here as a G chord. Okay, and then what I'm doing is it's the same pattern of middle, first, thumb, but I'm going through the strings. So I'm doing it like middle finger on the E string, index finger on the B string, and then thumb on the G string, and then I add this note. So, and then I do to the next shape, and I add that note, and then so like that, and you get these nice kind of cool country licks. So that's really, with this lesson I really wanted to show you, well, maybe a couple of licks as well. Maybe you want to incorporate some of these licks in your playing, but mainly it was just I wanted to show you a little bit of the mentality of kind of taking something like a technique from Asturias, like I did, and then really like working with it, trying to move it and change it, and stretch it and pull it, and see what you can do with it. Maybe we can do something now where we just try something out. I don't know, like you could, for example, what if we do a full scale? But what we can do, right, is we can do like, so this one stays here, and then we'll do the rest just with the, so what we'll do is we'll keep the thumb on this note, and then we'll do the other notes on the notes as we come down the scale. So we do 2 on each note. Cool, huh? Oh, apart from, oh. Nice. Okay, so that's just an idea, you know, that you can take it somewhere different or whatever, you know. I'm just experimenting here, and that's what I recommend everyone do on the guitar. Just experiment. You've got this technique. Oh, what will it sound like if I detune my guitar? What will it sound like if I try it on the slide? You know, let's do that. Let's get the slide out. What's it gonna sound like with the slide? Because I love playing slide. Maybe that'll sound cool. So we go on an adventure. Let's see. Not too bad. You know, just experiment. You know, let's just see where it goes. And I'm taking one technique here, and I'm just experimenting, seeing where it goes. And it's taking me all different directions. So I encourage you to experiment. Take every riff you learn and just bend it and chop it up and do anything with it. Put it in a pan, add some garlic and some spices and see what happens to it. And I guarantee you'll become a much better guitarist. So thank you very much for watching. This is like my first video for this new teaching channel. So please support me by pressing like and subscribe, and I don't know, showing your friends if you think that this would be their cup of tea. Send it off and help me out. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, and see you in my next vid. Ciao.